In the glittering age of old Hollywood, opulence wasn't just a lifestyle, it was a statement. Golden Age actors built sprawling mansions to reflect the fame and fortune they once held in their grip. But time, as always, has a way of rewriting legacies. Today, some of those once grand estates sit forgotten, decaying under layers of dust, overgrowth, and silence. In this video, we take you through 20 of the most haunting abandoned mansions once owned by the icons of Hollywood's early years. These weren't just homes, they were symbols of success, ambition, and the allure of stardom. But fame faded, fortunes were lost, and the lights dimmed. What remains are the quiet shells of lives lived in the spotlight and lost in the shadows. The Weissmuller, a Nicolosi residence, Bair. Our journey begins high in Bair, where the jungle, once conquered on screen, has reclaimed its own. In 1931, Johnny Weissmuller, the definitive Tarzan, commissioned a home worthy of a king of the silver screen jungle. The architect was none other than Paul Rivere Williams, the pioneering African-American designer who shaped the very landscape of Los Angeles elite. This wasn't just a house, it was a statement of arrival, a testament to Weissmuller's colossal fame. Decades later, known as the Nicolosi Estate, after a subsequent owner, it received the honor of being designated a Los Angeles Historic Cultural Monument in 1990. An honor, it seems, that couldn't shield it from neglect. For over 20 years, according to the Paul Revere Williams Project dedicated to preserving the architect's legacy, this significant piece of Hollywood and architectural history has languished. County property records consistently list the Nicolosi family as owners. Yet, the house remains imprisoned behind chain link, its windows blinded by boards, its once sparkling pool a barren concrete pit. The roar of Tarzan is long gone, replaced by the whispering creep of vines and the profound, unsettling silence of abandonment. No spectral figures are documented here. The only haunting presence is the sheer weight of time and disregard pressing down on Williams' elegant creation. Pickfair, Beverly Hills. No name conjured the pinnacle of early Hollywood glamour quite like Pickfair. Built in 1920, it wasn't merely the home of silent film titans Mary Pickford, America's sweetheart, and Douglas Fairbanks, the king of Hollywood. It was Hollywood royalty's seat. For 60 years, its doors opened to presidents, dignitaries, and the brightest stars. It symbolized the dream made tangible. After Pickford's death in 1979, the estate passed through hands Lakers owner Jerry Buss undertook a restoration, a flicker of hope. Then, in 1988, singer-actress Pia Zadora and her husband acquired it. What followed sent shockwaves through preservation circles. Zadora reported unsettling experiences within the historic walls, claiming sightings of a tall, white, ghostish woman in the bedrooms. Citing these experiences, though met with widespread skepticism, she made a decisive, irrevocable move. In 1990, the legendary Pickfair, the house that defined an era, was systematically demolished. Contemporary news reports and property transfers confirm this stark reality. In its place rose a new structure, a Venetian palazzo, stylistically disconnected from its storied past. Only the original gates remain, a poignant, almost mocking relic, standing guard before a palace that exists now only in photographs and memory. The ghost story remains Zadora's personal anecdote. The true phantom is the absence where a landmark once stood. Falcon Lair, Benedict Canyon. High above Benedict Canyon, Rudolph Valentino, the silver screen's great lover, sought refuge and built his dream. Falcon Lair in 1925. Its very name evoked mystery and power, much like the man himself. His untimely death in 1926, a global event of hysterical mourning, cast an immediate long shadow over the estate. It passed through many owners, each perhaps hoping to capture a fragment of the Valentino mystique. In 1953, the formidable tobacco heiress Doris Duke, a woman accustomed to grandeur, acquired Falcon Lair. She resided there for 40 years, a period of relative stability until her death in 1993. The main house, the heart of Valentino's creation, saw new owners in 1998. Initial reports spoke of ambitious restoration plans, a potential revival. But the years passed and the challenges mounted. The historic record, documented by sources like Wikipedia, delivers the final, blunt verdict. The original Falcon Lair main house was torn down in 2006. The structure that witnessed Valentino's brief residency and Duke's long tenure is gone. While the estate grounds remain, the specific architectural vessel of its most famous owner has vanished. Legends of Valentino's restless spirit lingering there persist in AP articles and local lore, unverified whispers swirling around in absence. The tangible loss of the building itself, however, is a stark, undeniable fact. Errol Flynn's Runan Canyon, Hollywood. Runan Canyon, now a popular hiking spot with panoramic views, holds a persistent myth that it was once the domain of the dashing, scandalous Errol Flynn. The truth, confirmed by investigations like those in the Los Angeles Times, is more complex and ultimately more desolate. The vast 160-acre estate, originally named San Patrizio, was built in the 1930s for Irish tenor John McCormack. In 1942, it was acquired by AANDP grocery heir Huntington Hartford. Flynn, he merely rented the estate's pool house for a brief period, 1957 to 1958. He never owned San Patrizio. Hartford harbored grand visions, even commissioning Frank Lloyd Wright for a design. But these plans collapsed under financial and practical pressures. By the 1970s, the estate's fate was sealed. Developer Jules Berman acquired the land and, in a strategy to reduce tax liability, embarked on systematic demolition. The magnificent main house was razed. Later, in 1972, fire consumed what remnants lingered. Today, hikers traversing Runan Canyon might stumble upon weathered concrete foundations, slowly being reclaimed by the chaparral, the only physical evidence of the sprawling San Patrizio, not Flynn's lost palace, but a phantom estate whose grandeur exists solely in archived photographs, and the stubborn, mistaken legend of a rogue actor who was merely a passing tenant. Myrna Loy's Hidden Valley Retreat, Beverly Hills. Not every story from Hollywood's golden age ends in ruin or controversy. Actress Myrna Loy, renowned for her wit, intelligence, and iconic role as Nora Charles in The Thin Man series, chose a quieter path. In the mid-1930s, she acquired a ranch-style estate nestled within the exclusive enclave of Beverly Hills' Hidden Valley. Historical archives, including a definitive 1937 aerial photograph held by institutions like the Huntington Library/Calla Sphere, clearly label a specific residence as hers. It was a sanctuary, away from the relentless studio glare. Life, however, brought change. Lloyd divorced her first husband in 1942, and records, noted by city property historians, confirm she sold her Hidden Valley home around that time. There is no gap in the narrative, no period of neglect whispered about in preservationist circles. The house simply transitioned from one owner to the next, presumably cherished and maintained within this desirable neighborhood. Unlike the decaying relics or vanished palaces, Myrna Loy's Hidden Valley chapter closed with quiet dignity. The house moved forward, its connection to the star becoming a historical footnote, not a catalyst for abandonment. Its continued existence speaks of resilience, not ruin. Marian Davies' Ocean House, Santa Monica. Imagine a palace on the sand, a monument to indulgence built for a kingmaker's companion. For actress Marian Davies, mistress of media titan William Randolph Hearst, this fantasy became reality around 1923 with Ocean House in Santa Monica. It was staggering in scale and opulence, featuring multiple pools, lush gardens, and direct beach access. A private playground funded by Hearst's empire. Davies hosted legendary parties, her laughter echoing through its halls. But times changed. In 1947, Davies sold the property. The Grand Mansion found a new public life for a brief period, transformed into a beach club. However, the sheer size and cost of maintaining such a behemoth proved unsustainable. The Beverly Hills Historical Society, among other sources, records the inevitable conclusion. The main house of Ocean House was torn down in 1956. The state eventually reclaimed the land. Today, the site buzzes with a different energy as the Annenberg Community Beach House, a vibrant public space enjoyed by many. While echoes of Davies' extravagant world might linger in the foundations of a poolside cafe, the mansion itself is gone. It wasn't abandoned to decay by the sea. Its fate was a deliberate erasure, its grandeur literally bulldozed, making way for the shared sunlight of the present. Its ghost is the memory of sheer, almost unimaginable scale, now scattered like sand. Charlton Heston's Citadel, Coldwater Canyon. The narrative of Hollywood abandonment often tempts us to imagine even the most stalwart figures succumbing to time. Yet, reality can be far more mundane, even reassuring. Academy Award-winning actor Charlton Heston, known for his commanding presence in epics like Ben-Hur and the Ten Commandments, resided in a substantial compound in Beverly Hills' Coldwater Canyon. This wasn't a fleeting residence, it was a home deeply associated with him until his death in 2008. Contrary to any whispers of dereliction, the estate's journey is well documented and distinctly unhaunted by neglect. Luxury real estate listings, such as the one from Hilton and Highland, explicitly detail the former Charlton Heston estate, confirming its identity. These listings showcase a sprawling 14,632 square foot compound, commanding a price of approximately $11.7 million when it sold in 2021. The imagery reveals a property in impeccable condition, landscaped grounds, pristine structures, a testament to ongoing care. Heston's family relinquished ownership, but the Citadel he built remains intact, a private fortress maintained by new custodians. Its story continues, uninterrupted by decay, a reminder that not all Hollywood legends fade into ruin. Tyrone Power's Salt Air Sanctuary, Brentwood. Elegance, when rooted in exceptional design, often possesses a remarkable resilience. Actor Tyrone Power, the epitome of romantic leading men in the 1930s and 40s, understood this. In 1937, he commissioned architect Paul Rivere Williams, Hollywood's architect to the stars, to design a custom residence at 139 North Saltaire Avenue in Brentwood, often associated with Pacific Palisades. Power and his wife, actress Annabella, made this Williams creation their home. Power's tragic death in 1958 marked the end of his residency, but not the end of the house's story. Like Heston's estate, this property did not vanish or crumble. Its significance is noted by preservation organizations, like the Palm Springs Preservation Foundation, acknowledging Williams' work. Decades later, in 2020, the very same address appeared on the luxury market, listed for sale at around $10 million. Contemporary photographs reveal a home that has clearly been cherished and updated over the decades, yet retains the underlying grace of Williams' original vision. It stands not as a relic, but as a desirable, lived-in testament to timeless design and the quiet continuity of life in these storied neighborhoods. Abandonment never touched its threshold. Clark Gable's Enino Ranch, Enino. Clark Gable, the undisputed king of Hollywood, sought a different kind of throne away from the studio lots, a sprawling ranch in Enino. His house of two gables wasn't just a residence, it was a working ranch, a refuge where he could shed the mantle of Rhett Butler and be himself. After Gables' death in 1960, the vast property faced the common fate of such estates. His widow and sons sold off parcels of land, fragmenting the original acreage. However, the heart of the ranch, the iconic House of Two Gables, endured. Contrary to any tales of abandonment, its trajectory is clear and well-maintained. Financial records and detailed accounts trace its path. The core property eventually came under the ownership of financier Michael Milken in 1977. Reports consistently indicate Milken still owns the estate as of recent decades. While shielded from public view, as befits a private residence of its stature, there are no indications of decay or neglect. It isn't a museum frozen in time, nor is it a decaying shell. It remains a private, actively used estate, preserving the physical legacy of Gables' chosen sanctuary within the evolving landscape of the San Fernando Valley. The King's Ranch House still stands, quietly occupied. Gregory Peck's final chapter, Beverly Hills. The end of an era often manifests physically in these hills. Gregory Peck, the embodiment of integrity and gravitas both on and off screen, spent his final years in a distinguished Beverly Hills home. His death in 2003 marked the closing of a remarkable life. The disposition of his home, however, followed a path distinct from abandonment. In 2004, Peck's widow, Veronique, sold the property. The buyer wasn't someone seeking to preserve cinematic history, but a neighbor, Bradley Bell, head writer for the soap opera, The Bold and the Beautiful. Bell's intent, confirmed by real estate tracking sources like Virtual Globetrotting, was unequivocal. He purchased the property for approximately $19.5 million, not to inhabit Peck's home, but to demolish it. The goal was land consolidation, expanding his own adjacent estate. Peck's mansion, therefore, did not succumb to slow decay or neglect. Its end was swift and deliberate, raised to make way for a new vision of luxury on the same coveted ground. While local anecdotes sometimes mention spectral echoes of the actor, the tangible truth is starkly modern. The house is gone, replaced by the ambitions of the present. Its haunting is one of absence in a landscape constantly being reshaped. Fred Astaire's time capsule, Beverly Hills. Some homes seem to defy the very passage of time, preserved in a bubble of continuity. In 1961, at the height of his enduring fame, dancer and actor Fred Astaire, the epitome of effortless grace, built a mid-century modern residence in Beverly Hills. It reflected his style, clean lines, understated sophistication. This became his sanctuary, the stage for his private life, for over a quarter of a century until his death in 1987. Unlike many estates that fragment or transform after a star's passing, Astaire's home experienced no such rupture. As consistently reported by celebrity real estate observers, the property passed to and remains owned by his widow, Robin Smith. This enduring connection has fostered remarkable stability. The house hasn't been shuttered, left to the elements, or sold off to developers with grand plans. It exists as it has for decades, a private, meticulously maintained residence. While the world marveled at Astaire's timeless performances, his final home has achieved a different kind of timelessness. A quiet, enduring presence in the Beverly Hills landscape, shielded from both the wrecking ball and the creeping vines of neglect by the vigilant care of his partner. Harold Lloyd's Green Acres, Beverly Hills. Silent comedy legend Harold Lloyd didn't just build a house, he built a kingdom. Green Acres, constructed in the late 1920s in Benedict Canyon, Beverly Hills was staggering in its ambition. A 44-room Italianate mansion, formal gardens, a working farm, a 9-hole golf course, and a massive swimming pool complex. It was a self-contained world, a monument to Lloyd's colossal success and his love for grand-scale living. He resided there, the undisputed king of his domain, until his death in 1971. The fate of such an enormous property was inevitably complex. The estate was subdivided, parcels sold off. Yet, crucially, the heart survived. The main mansion and a significant portion of the surrounding grounds were preserved. This wasn't accidental. Recognizing its immense historical and architectural significance, Green Acres was formally added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1984, a status confirmed by its official listing. Now under private ownership, it is not abandoned, nor is it visibly decaying. Reports and available views indicate it remains a maintained private residence, albeit on a reduced yet still grand scale. Green Acres stands as a rare success story, a colossal relic of Hollywood's golden age, not just surviving, but officially recognized and preserved. Its manicured lawns a testament to enduring legacy, not neglect. Joan Crawford's Mommy Dearest house, Brentwood, 426 North Bristol Avenue in Brentwood, is infamous. For decades, it was the home of the formidable Joan Crawford, a symbol of her hard-won stardom. Purchased in 1929, it was her base of operations, her fortress. It gained a second, darker layer of notoriety decades later, as the primary setting depicted in the film Mommy Dearest, based on her daughter Christina's scathing memoir alleging abuse. Crawford, facing financial strain, sold the house in 1959. Unlike truly abandoned properties, this house has remained occupied and maintained. Its haunting, however, is of a different nature. The physical connection to Crawford and the film's lore has been systematically erased. Beginning in the 2000s, subsequent owners undertook extensive, radical renovations. As chronicled by observers tracking celebrity homes, virtually nothing of the original exterior visible from the street remains. The structure that stands today is modern, bearing no resemblance to the mansion Crawford knew, or that served as the cinematic backdrop for her most controversial portrayal. It hasn't been left to rot, it has been transformed beyond recognition. The ghost here isn't Joan Crawford's spirit, but the absence of the tangible architecture that witnessed her tumultuous life and cemented her complex, enduring legend. The house stands, but its history has been facelifted into oblivion. Bela Lugosi's Hollywood mansion, Beechwood Canyon, perched dramatically in Beechwood Canyon within the iconic Hollywoodland district, sits 2829 Westshore Drive. Its distinctive Tudor Revival architecture, complete with steeply pitched roofs and half timbering, seems perfectly suited to its most famous resident from the 1930s, Bela Lugosi, the man who embodied Count Dracula for generations. Sources confirm Lugosi lived here throughout the 30s at the peak of his fame, adding a layer of Gothic allure to the structure itself. Yet, this is no crumbling castle. Lugosi's former home has demonstrated remarkable resilience and desirability. It has passed through the hands of numerous owners, including other celebrities like Kathy Bates and John Cryer, consistently functioning as a private residence. Far from being abandoned or decaying, it has been meticulously maintained and significantly updated. Recent real estate listings showcase a luxurious modern interior seamlessly integrated within the historic Tudor shell, complete with amenities like pools and gourmet kitchens, commanding multi-million-dollar prices. While real estate copy might playfully mention Lugosi's ghost to add color, there's no documented history of supernatural occurrences beyond rumor. The true story is one of architectural endurance, a house forever linked to a horror icon, yet continuously revitalized, standing proud and well-kept on its hillside perch. A testament to enduring value beyond its macabre association. Henry Fonda's Brentwood grounds, Brentwood. Henry Fonda, the patriarch of an acting dynasty and a giant of American cinema in his own right, established his family life on a substantial Brentwood estate around 1225 One Castlegate Drive during the 1950s and early 1960s. It was a base for his growing family, including young Jane and Peter. Like many large properties in these coveted areas, its long-term fate followed a predictable pattern driven by land value. The Fonda estate did not crumble into abandonment, nor was its main house preserved as a museum. Instead, as documented by sources like Curbed LA, the land itself became the valuable commodity. The original estate was subdivided. New property lines were drawn, new foundations poured. A house built in 1964, as noted, stands specifically on the former Henry Fonda estate. Other homes now occupy parcels that were once his gardens or grounds. The physical structure Fonda knew is gone, replaced by the fabric of a modern neighborhood. His legacy in Brentwood isn't marked by a decaying mansion, but by the transformation of space, a once unified domain fragmented into multiple properties. The memory of his presence embedded not in bricks and mortar, but in the very soil now supporting new lives and structures. Bogart and Bacall's Holmby Hills, 232 South Mapleton Drive, in the exclusive enclave of Holmby Hills, carries a potent cinematic legacy. Before it became synonymous with Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, Hollywood's ultimate power couple, it was home to the brilliant and enigmatic actress Hedy Lamarr. Bogart and Bacall acquired it, making it their own during their marriage, a period of immense professional success and personal happiness for them. Bogart's death in 1957 within these walls marked a profound loss. Yet, unlike houses that fade with their owners, 232 Mapleton has maintained its stature, as confirmed by sources like the Wikipedia entry on Holmby Hills, which lists notable residents and addresses. The property has passed through the hands of subsequent owners, likely equally wealthy and private. There are no credible reports, no visible signs, no preservationist alarms suggesting this home was ever abandoned or fell into disrepair. It remains precisely what it was designed to be, a significant private Holmby Hills mansion. Its walls hold layers of Hollywood history, Lamarr's inventions, Bogart and Bacall's legendary romance. But the structure itself stands strong, continuously occupied, and meticulously maintained, a silent, well-kept sentinel on a street of dreams. Jean Harlow's Bel Air home, Bel Air. Jean Harlow, the platinum blonde, who redefined Hollywood glamour and sexuality in the early 1930s, chose Bel Air's Club View Drive, number 1535, as her home. It was a place of refuge and success during her meteoric, tragically short career. Her untimely death from kidney failure in 1937 at just 26 sent shockwaves through the industry and left the house without its luminous star. However, 1535 Club View Drive did not become a shrine frozen in time, nor did it descend into neglect. As noted in community histories like the Holmby Hills article, the property transitioned smoothly to new owners after Harlow's passing. It has remained a private residence, continuously occupied and cared for throughout the decades. While the house later gained a tangential, grim association through resident Sharon Tate's premonition, a separate tragedy, this does not define its physical state. The key fact is its continuity. The house stands today, likely significantly updated internally, but outwardly a well-maintained part of the Bel Air streetscape. Harlos' presence is a historical footnote for the address, not a catalyst for abandonment. Life, in its ordinary flow, has persisted within its walls long after the star's light was extinguished. Bing Crosby's Holmby Hills Manor, Holmby Hills. Directly across the street from the infamous Playboy Mansion at 594 South Mapleton Drive stood the home of an entirely different kind of entertainment icon, Bing Crosby. The beloved singer, actor, and all-around entertainer made this Holmby Hills Manor his base. Crosby's era was one of smooth vocals, family-friendly films, and golf tournaments. His death in 1977 closed a significant chapter in American pop culture. Like its neighbor Bogart's former home, Crosby's Manor did not fade away. It passed into the hands of subsequent owners, typically figures from the worlds of media or high finance, individuals accustomed to maintaining significant properties. Real estate records and community listings confirm Crosby's long residency there. There is no indication, no visual evidence from public vantage points, suggesting this house ever suffered abandonment or neglect. It remains a substantial private estate on one of Los Angeles's most exclusive streets. Its enduring presence, directly opposite the symbol of Hefner's hedonism, is a quiet testament to the diverse tapestry of Hollywood legacy, a well-maintained counterpoint, continuing its story long after White Christmas last echoed within its walls. Jane Mansfield's Sunset Boulevard fantasy, West Hollywood. Few houses embodied the flamboyant, over-the-top spirit of a specific Hollywood moment like Jane Mansfield's Pink Palace. Situated prominently at 10100 Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood, it wasn't just pink. It was a riot of heart-shaped pools, plush carpeting, and sheer, unapologetic spectacle. Mansfield, the blonde bombshell rivaling Monroe, made it her trademark throughout the late 1950s, a symbol of her carefully constructed persona. Her tragic death in 1967 cast a shadow, but the house endured, passing through other hands, including singer Engelbert Humperdinck. However, time and changing tastes were not kind to this particular fantasy. As definitively reported by industry sources like The Hollywood Reporter, the Pink Palace's fate was sealed not by abandonment, but by the bulldozer. It was demolished in 2002. The reasons likely involved land value, the impracticality of the structure, and the end of its novelty. Today, the address 10100 Sunset Boulevard hosts a modern development, sleek, anonymous, bearing no trace of the pink stucco, heart-shaped tiles, or Jane Mansfield's larger-than-life presence. The Pink Palace wasn't abandoned, it was deliberately erased. Its haunting is the vivid memory of its sheer audacity, now existing only in photographs and newsreels, a phantom of kitsch grandeur on a stretch of sunset where dreams are constantly built and demolished. Jack Benny's Beverly Hills address, Beverly Hills. Radio and television comedy legend Jack Benny, known for his impeccable timing, feigned stinginess, and beloved persona, resided at 10231 Charing Cross Road in Beverly Hills. It was a fitting address for a star of his magnitude during the height of his career. Like many of his contemporaries, his home was a base for both private life and entertaining within the industry. The passage of time on Charing Cross Road followed a familiar Beverly Hills pattern. After Benny's era, the property passed to new owners, typically successful business figures. As is common in this rarefied real estate market, the original structure Benny knew likely underwent significant renovations, or was potentially rebuilt entirely to suit contemporary tastes and standards of luxury. Community histories like the Holmby Hills article, which often includes Beverly Hills addresses, confirm Benny's residency. However, there is no indication, no lingering aura of neglect, suggesting the site was ever abandoned. The land has remained valuable and occupied. The house standing at 10231 Charing Cross Road today is almost certainly a modern incarnation, reflecting the current wealth and preferences of its occupants. Benny's legacy here isn't preserved in architecture, but in the address itself, a footnote on a street where history is constantly being renovated. Which of these abandoned mansions left the most haunting impression on you? Did the decay of a particular star's refuge resonate most deeply? Or perhaps you know of another forgotten palace, another ghost of golden age glamour crumbling silently somewhere? Share your thoughts, your knowledge, your own discoveries in the comments below. If this journey into the ghostly heart of Hollywood's past captivated you, please show your support by liking this video. Subscribe and tap the notification bell so you're always the first to join our next expedition, until we uncover our next story.